Hello everybody, welcome to the Cooking Coach Gordon Show. I am Chef Danny. What's going on? How are you? Hope everybody's cool. We got a fantastic show. We have an absolute fantastic show today. It is apple season. It is in full swing. I go out down there in my town. I go down Route 110. There's cones. There's people directing traffic. There's a mob of people going apple picking. Did you know that Connecticut farmers grow 60 varieties of apples a year? 60. That is crazy. In our little state, 60 varieties. I hope you go out there and start capitalizing some of the stuff we have here in this beautiful state. And it's from mid-August to mid-October. That's your season. Right now it's in full swing. Just a little bit about apples real quick. If you want to store your apples, if you store them at room temperature like this, they're going to ripen 10 times faster than if you had them in a plastic bag in your veggie drawer in your refrigerator. Okay? But remember, when you store them, if there's any bruised apples, take them out and use them. Don't store them in there. They'll store a lot longer. They'll stay crisper, and it's got to be a little moist in there. That's why those drawers are good in a nice Ziploc bag. Okay? You can freeze them, peel them, cut them. But what you want to do is you want to add a little lemon juice to them so they don't oxidize. This is an antioxidant. It'll keep them from turning brown. Okay. My daughter Brianna went to pick some apples this week, and that's why I want to do a show here. This is a real simple dessert that you can do with local apples. Fantastic flavor. Absolute fantastic flavor. So we have here Honey Crisp. These are really, really crisp and juicy. And we have some Crispins. Both are very good for cooking. They're tart. They hold up to heat. They're not like mush. So first thing we're going to do here is we're going to cut. I have some apples already cut and cooked because I know that the show is only 15 minutes and I don't want to go over. But we're just going to peel this. So there's a little bruise right there. So you wouldn't want to store that. I don't know if you were able to see that through the skin. I don't know. But, I mean, I'm sure there's always going to be one in this. Then I have this. You can cut this really like with a knife here. You can just use one of these cool time-saving devices here. Look. Boom. Watch this. Fast. All right. This is something really easy to do. You can just kind of go like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these again. I'm going to cut these in half again, just because they're big. But that was really simple. All right. We have some apples here. We're going to get some butter. Pop some butter. Some apples right in here. We're also going to make caramel sauce with maple syrup. The maple caramel for here. Well, we have some apples in there. Right? Well, we're going to add some more butter. We're going to start frying that up. Sugar. You know what? I'm going to let it caramelize. You can caramelize your apples a little bit. You want to get them a little brown. Just let that start flying like that. Now we're going to make a caramel. I'm going to add a little water to this. And I found in my cupboard today brown sugar. So we're going to add some brown sugar. And we'll let it off. We're going to add it with the water. We're going to let it reduce. You can use regular granulated sugar, but it takes a little too long sometimes. And when I found the brown sugar, I'm like, that's what I'm going to use. So we're going to caramelize this. Just be careful. See, you're getting some brown there. Bart, I'm smoking you out, huh, honey? Yeah, we're getting a little brown there. Beautiful. Granulated sugar. Cinnamon. A little bit of water. A little bit of water. And that's going to reduce now. Okay? This is starting to reduce. I think I put a little too much water in there. No problem. I can add some more sugar. That's granulated right there. Okay? I made some caramel sauce because this takes about 15 minutes to make. But you're going to reduce this to a syrup. Okay. There's also some butter in here. Put some butter in here in a second. I also have some cornstarch here that I am going to thicken this with. I can smell it. Smell that part?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it's so good. I'm going to grab a little teeny bit of salt. Just a little bit of salt. Just a teeny bit for my apple. I mean, just a teeny bit of that. What the water does, the water helps cook the apples faster. Right? Helps cook the apples faster. This is starting to reduce. We can add some butter to this. And caramel always gets lemon juice. Right? Caramel always gets some lemon juice in there. And I'm also going to put a little salt in here, a little contrast. Just a little bit. It's not a salted caramel, although that would be really good with this, right? We'll let that reduce. We'll let this cook. See how these apples are not falling apart. Like if this were Macintosh, these would be turning into applesauce. With Macintosh, okay? Alright, let that cook. Puff pastry. You have some puff pastry. You can buy this puff pastry right at the store in the frozen section. Right? We're going to go here. We're going to use a little cornstarch. Take some of this moisture off. We use flour or cornstarch, just something so it doesn't stick. You don't need a lot, you know. Just a little bit. And like I said, you can buy this this puff pastry right at the grocery store in the frozen section. Have to be refrigerated. This is sold frozen, and what you want to do is you want to put it into the refrigerator, 4 or 5 hours before you're going to use it. Okay. If this is getting too thick and you don't think it's actually cooked enough, you can add a little more water. And we're going to make a little juice with this. So we're going to use a little cornstarch. Cornstarch is something that you have to thin out with cold water. You can't just throw it into the hot liquid. Otherwise you'll get lumpy. So you have to do this. Just add a little at a time. This thickens on contact. Okay. On contact. That's perfect. You gotta let it cook for a second. And then I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna take this off, and you have to let this cool. This is hot. This is really hot, and this is really cold. So it'll really melt that puff pastry dough. So what I did is I did this before, and I made it really cool. So now, if you come on over, Barbara, let me show the people what's going on here.
Ciao, Bella. I'm stuck.
Come on, Bella. Bella's getting in. See, it's starting to reduce a little bit. We put our lemon juice. Now I'm going to add the heavy cream. Okay. Now this is real thin right now, but this is going to reduce. By the time this is done, the show will be over. But that's why I made some already. Okay. And this is going to start to boil up, and then this is going to reduce, and it's going to become caramel. This is just a quick way to do it with brown sugar, because it would take a little longer with granulated sugar. But you would add some water, and you would go until it was started to turn like an amber color. Okay, let's start making our puff pastry. There's 2 ways you can do this. I like to use a glass pan. I preheated my oven to 500. Right? What you don't want to do is you don't want to get that on your floor because it will become very greasy and you can slide. Alright, so here we go. We're going to make 2 kinds. First one we're going to make, we're going to put this right a little bit right here. You don't want to put too much because you won't be able to close it. A little juice. Okay? This is going to be like a rectangle. Okay? You can take this, a little flour, a little cornstarch in here. And you just want to press it closed, not to overwork the puff pastry dough because it will rip and tear. Okay? Just like this. Now you can add holes with it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 slices, just like this. 3, it's more symmetrical, it's balanced when you do 3. This is going to go nice and neat in here. Okay? The other one's going to be a traditional. What I love about this is you can make your own filling. Now, I would have loved to do fresh cranberries with this, but cranberries